Right, Guy, how'd you work that one out then, this afternoon against Buckley?
Feels like a point gained really, because obviously 3-1 down with not a long period of time left. Obviously we were getting a little bit nervous and frustrated really, because I felt that we had created enough chances throughout the game to take 3 points, but again it's small margins. A few decisions perhaps went against us. Difficult for me to see from where I was in terms of the penalty shout in the second half. The lads are convinced it was in the box, and there seemed to be a little bit of decision making from the ref and then the linesman, and chop and changing their thoughts. So that is a little bit frustrating, because a penalty, we get that goal back and things can change very, very quickly. But credit to Buckley, they work very, very hard, probably one of the hardest working teams that have come here this season. And when they got into the final third, a quick ball in the box, and they took their chances when they came. Obviously the free kick, difficult. Probably need to look at it again in terms of, was the wall set up right, and he's put it away well, but how that came about initially to get that chance came from us losing possession, and on a sticky pitch in terms of, obviously it was quite heavy. It was difficult to play those short intricate passes, and I think we caused ourselves our own problems, to be honest.
Probably the first game of the season where we've had a bit of water on the pitch, and it did create problems.
Yes it did. Think the lads, we were kind of caught in two minds about trying to play our short passing game and play through the thirds, and then looking to play direct. It was difficult for us to play direct because they had two big tall centre halves, and that's what they wanted. They wanted us to go perhaps a little bit longer, win first ball, second ball, and then look to counter on us. And obviously they sat in very deep, left one man up front. So we did have a lot of space in our defensive to middle third to try and play forward, but obviously getting into the final third, then it was difficult with so many players behind the ball. But that was up to us to break them down, and unfortunately we didn't do it enough today.
Was that a good point gained in the end then?
Yeah, I could say I think it was, because nobody wants to lose football matches, and I think looking back on reflection, perhaps last year we probably wouldn't have clawed that back, regardless of any team that you play being 3-1 down, to claw 2 goals back in a short period of time and then look to actually try and go and win the game. I think the lads deserve credit for that.
Because Buckley have beaten us once this season.
Exactly, yeah.
So it was a difficult decision as well. With there was a substitution and then they scored. Was that a good move to bring somebody on, and then the sub came and the game changed really, didn't it, Guy?
Yeah, again, you can make decisions and people praise you, and you can make other decisions and people look at it in a negative way. I don't think any of the substitutions made any difference really to the outcome of what happened. I think it was a case of just they were quite ruthless in the final third, and they had that little bit of quality, especially with the number 7, especially on the counter attack, and they took their chances well. So we had to make changes. To be fair, there's a few lads that have come in. Ilan's come in and finding his feet. He's not played a lot of games recently after coming in from Kevin Druid, so a difficult game for him to get on the ball and show his quality. And again, Kieran's come in. Last 10 minutes we've tried to utilise his strengths, and he's had good passages of play as well. So again, in terms of the balance throughout the team, it's highlighted the strength that we have.
Sharples has come into the side and did a good job. So what's the situation with it on with regards to his injury at the moment then?
Yeah, I think he's just taking it week by week. I think the initial diagnosis wasn't as bad as we feared it might be. I think he's going to come training on Tuesday just to have a look, have some treatment with Lindsay and see how he goes from there. But we don't want to rush him back. We've got big games ahead. Obviously we've got the Airbus doubleheader now, which is really, really important, as is any game. But obviously the Cup semi-final is massive for us and for the club and for the fans. I don't obviously envisage Idon being back from them, but it's been great to get Mike come in, and he's kind of just hit the ground running, to be honest.
So after 2 games against Airbus, which is the most important then? Sorry, Guy. That's an awful question.
I think in all honesty, we're not going to say one is more important than the other, but I think when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, we're doing okay in the league. Yes, we'd like more points, but who wouldn't? we're still competitive in that top 4, top 5, and I'm sure teams above us and around us will drop points before the end of the season. But as we're all well aware, it's been a long time since the club has got silverware, and the lads are all aware of that, and we've got a great opportunity, especially being at home, to show our credentials, and get into a cup final and hopefully bring the glory days back to Portmadog.
Diolch, Guy.
Dim problem, diolch yn fawr.